Hi everyone, I'm Matt from Looking to Bitcoin, and today we'll be looking at how will Bitcoin evolve as an asset. To do this, we'll be using a number of resources that are all freely available on lookintobitcoin.com, your number one source for Bitcoin information. If you haven't already, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to ensure you're receiving all of our content as soon as it's released. So right now we're just here on the Look into Bitcoin site, and specifically the Bitcoin Lightning Capacity chart. And this is one of the best metrics we can visually use to see Bitcoin's evolution as an asset and as a technology more so. The Bitcoin Lightning Network, if you weren't already aware, is what's called a layer 2 solution, which operates on an almost separate network for Bitcoin transactions that can then group up these transactions that are almost provided for free, almost no fee, and almost instant. They're then grouped up and executed on the main Bitcoin network to ensure full trust and reliability. So, this Lightning Network evolution is one of Bitcoin's most recent. It really helps to solve one of the key issues when discussing Bitcoin and its potential for future longevity. And that was the fact that it can be quite expensive and a little bit slow to use, especially for its intended purpose of peer-to-peer transactions, especially usually the analogy that is used of buying a cup of coffee. If you want to buy a cup of coffee for $3 and it costs you $5 in fees and takes 10 minutes, it's not ideal. So the Lightning Network is actually a solution to this problem, as we said, to provide almost free and instant transactions. But this isn't the only evolution we're seeing within Bitcoin. And Bitcoin as an open source project that we can see here on GitHub, we can see is almost always improving, updating, evolving, and new technologies are trying to be implemented and tested out to make Bitcoin the most viable and long-term successfully project available. So we can see here, especially on the GitHub thing, that there is really a huge amount of activity going on by developers to continue the improvement and evolution of Bitcoin. We can see developers here putting thousands of different commits into the Bitcoin source code to constantly try and improve it. And one of the most recent large-scale influential and more radical changes we've seen on the Bitcoin network was the recent implementation of Bitcoin ordinals. Now, if you weren't already aware, we did do a video slightly covering this briefly a few weeks ago, but just to quickly summarize, ordinals are a type of inscription we can do on Bitcoin's lowest denomination called Satoshis. So by inscription, I really just do mean a few lines of code that can be assigned to each individual Satoshi, which is 100 millionth of a Bitcoin. Now, the first use case traders and investors found for these inscriptions was to make NFTs and other meme project tokens that don't necessarily hold a great deal of value. But this opens the door for potentially smart contracts on the Bitcoin network. With digital ownership now being native to the Bitcoin network, this is a huge revolutionary upgrade that, while in this infancy stage, doesn't seem like it has that much revolutionary potential for actually providing purpose on the Bitcoin network. Like we said, if we can provide digital ownership and potentially even future smart contracts on Bitcoin, something that has previously been reserved for other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, that would be a huge step in the right direction for really making Bitcoin a true fit for purpose cryptocurrency that doesn't necessarily require you to use any other digital assets for whatever your intended purpose is. Whether you're trying to replicate some decentralized finance applications and require smart contracts, or whether you're trying to use this as a decentralized peer-to-peer currency, slowly but surely we are ticking off all of these boxes, especially when you take into account one of Bitcoin's more major upgrades, which was the Taproot upgrade that happened a couple of years ago, but has continued to be rolled out, accepted, and implemented more and more by different miners. So this Taproot upgrade is trying to improve Bitcoin's potential for privacy. And as a simple overview, the way this works is the way Bitcoin works is everyone has a public key and a private key. The public key is what we can see each other's individual wallet. So the public key is what we use to send Bitcoin to as a decentralized transaction, whereas the private key is something that you keep personally in private as a way to actually access your coins. And this Taproot upgrade basically combines these public keys to create a new one and combines the signatures so that these transactions aren't as obvious as to who the transactions are going to and from. So this Taproot upgrade, again, is slowly working its way into popularity as it's being adopted more and more by different miners and the network in general. As we can see here, this was over 2 years ago now, but 55% of all of the Bitcoin hash rate is now signaling support for the Taproot upgrade. So this is a great other development we can see. And ultimately, like we've said, Bitcoin is a software. It is an open source project that people are continuously developing and improving upon. So any cryptocurrencies you see that may provide one functionality that Bitcoin doesn't, In my opinion, it's only a matter of time before these truly revolutionary upgrades and improvements make their way into Bitcoin, and Bitcoin maybe becomes this supermassive black hole, absorbing all liquidity and evolving into this truly complete cryptocurrency that really negates the need for any other competitors. So just to summarize, as Bitcoin is an open source project, meaning anyone can contribute to the source code and its improvements, it encourages constant evolution from developers globally. And Bitcoin has undergone substantial changes since its inception. We've actually had multiple different hard forks, such as the Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Satoshi Vision hard fork, where developers have gone in their own separate ways due to their own beliefs and morals about what Bitcoin should be as an asset class and a technology, and this will probably continue into the future. But since its inception, Bitcoin has undergone some rather radical changes and will likely continue to do so. And as we discussed, BRC20 and ordinal inscriptions may open the door to native Bitcoin network smart contracts. Further updates to Taproot may radically improve transactional privacy, and Lightning Network expansion will provide practically free and instant decentralized Bitcoin transactions. If you like this video, then please visit lookintobitcoin.com, where you can also consider becoming a site subscriber to get access to live chats, in-depth newsletters, indicator alerts, private trading view scripts, and more, all for a fraction of the standard industry price. And let me know in the comments down below and on social media, how do you think Bitcoin is going to evolve as an asset and a technology? What different changes and improvements would you like to see going forward? Let me know in the comments down below and on social media. I look forward to reading and replying to all of them. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.